Hey everyone, I have a brand new channel called Pack SSB. It's where I'm going to be covering all news about Smash Brothers Ultimate and Melee. So if you have any interest in that kind of stuff or you're curious about it, please join up on the channel. I will leave it in the description for you guys to check it out and subscribe to it so it can help me grow. Let's get to the video. Yeah, pasa to the pack. It is Pack here. NFL fans probably don't know this, but NBA preseason is right now, right? And even though it's just preseason, I mean, the most favorite thing any NBA fan says is it's just preseason. I know it's just preseason right now, but what I want to do in today's video is I want to get the players that I think are standing out in preseason and see who maybe deserves a little bit of a roster update by the time the season starts, in my personal opinion. Now, if you like this kind of content, please join the pack and subscribe. Let's get in, man. Quick disclaimer, if I don't mention your NBA team or player, is because I didn't think they needed any significant change. That's it. Let's get it, man. We start with the Philadelphia 76ers, and I think Tyrese Maxey is showing out. Tyrese Maxey was already good last season, right? You're 21 years old, 85 overall, averaged almost 18 points on 49% from the field, 43% from three in his second NBA season. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey's a bucket, but I don't know. Something tells me somehow, even with James Harden and being on the team at the same time, he's going to have an even better year. This team is going to be so good. It's terrifying. Tyrese Maxey looks good in the preseason so far. He's a bucket getter. This team has these pieces that you should be worried about, and Tyrese Maxey is one of them. Even when Harden gets a little older and they lose Tobias, there's no doubt that Tyrese is still going to be on this team and still going to be really good. We're going to go to the Chicago Bulls. Someone that's been showing out on the Bulls is Javonte Green. Now, Javonte Green only averaged 7 points on 55% from the field. Well, 54%. Well, 54% from the field is pretty good, but only 7 points. Not really a necessarily crazy great player, and he's 29 years old. It's not like he's going to get better this year. But in preseason, the dude's averaging like 20-something on like 60% from the field and 50% from three. I know it's a couple games, and I know it's preseason. It's not a big deal. Obviously, he's playing as hard as he can to get a roster spot. Not a roster spot, but I guess an important role on the team. But when I watched him play, he looked aggressive. And I don't know, if you can do that in the preseason, you should be able to do half of that in the regular season. And half of that is still really damn good. I won't be shocked if Javonte Green ends up with like a 77 to 78 later on in the year. I wouldn't be shocked. He looks pretty solid for the Bulls. For the Celtics, I'm sure Celtics fans already know about this guy right here. Sam Hauser is a sniper in preseason. He is shooting lights out. And to be honest with you, I'm annoyed. Do the Celtics need that much more help when you already have all these 80 overall players? Do you really need another bucket? Like, come on, man. He's a sniper. He's hitting every single open shot. He's making shots that I feel like most people don't make at all. Like, he's just shooting things that I didn't think he could shoot, and he's making them. It's really impressive. I think that Sam has potential. He's going to be a role player no matter what on this team, but I think he has potential to be active on this roster because he can shoot really well. They have the spacing for him. It'd be interesting. My dog wanted to sit on my lap. Say hi to everyone. Okay, with the Los Angeles Clippers, we've been talking about him. John Wall. John Wall's a 78 overall. John Wall's been crucially injured for years now. And last season he came back, but he played what? Like a couple games, right? He played 40 games with the Rockets and didn't really need to play for the Rockets because they were just trying to lose. In those 40 games, he averaged 21 points, 7 assists, a lot of turnovers, but 40% from the field and 30% from three. So the 40% from the field isn't good, and the 30% from three isn't good. 21 points per game. If he can get 15 on good efficiency, that's a really good place for John Wall. It's an impressive place for John Wall. He's still a great player. As long as he can stay healthy, after all these years, we know how good he can play. I'd be very impressed with John Wall because the thing is, if you have Kawhi and Paul George playing as good as we know they can, Norman Powell, who continues to be around like a 19-point per game scorer, and then John Wall, who also is like a 17-point per game scorer, this is an easy title contender, easily. And you could even argue favorites of how good this roster is. So I'm happy for John Wall, and I kind of hope he can continue this because dude's a bucket. So up next, and I mean this with absolute confidence and not joking around, Kenneth Lofton is legit. The player's real. You can say what you want. You can meme. You could say it's just preseason. Here's the thing. At first I said, well, it's just college, right? He can't do that in the NBA. And then I said, it's just summer league. Like, there's no way he could do it in the NBA. And then I said, oh, it's preseason. There's no way he could do it in the NBA. What happens in 10 games when this kid is actually playing well and getting a serious role with the Grizzlies? Then what are we going to say? Listen, man, when I saw him in college, I was like, this dude does not have an NBA body. He cannot play in the league. He's not built for it. And yet, he finds a way. And honestly, he can hit open shots. He's hitting open middies, hitting open threes. He's a big body that can play defense, and he can score into the basket at will. At will. He moved around Brook Lopez like it was nothing. This kid's legit. You can say what you want. You can joke about him. He's a legit player. He is valid. Kenneth Lofton is valid for the Atlanta Hawks. You know what's funny about this team? We talk about Trae Young and the addition of DeJounte Murray and how it's a big deal. And I think it is a big deal. It's important to talk about. But DeAndre Hunter has been getting better every year. He had a great performance last year. I think this is going to be his breakout season, and he's in the conversation for most improved. He is going to be good, and he's already a great defender. Expect him to have a fantastic season. If he can be in like the mid 80 club with still Trae Young, DeJounte, Capella, Collins, and Bogdanovic, this team is going to be very, very good. It all depends on Hunter, to be honest with you, and I honestly think he has changed a lot this year. Expect him to be making some noise, and he's showing it in preseason. So up next is my personal rookie of the year candidate is Keegan Murray. I think he's clear rookie of the year. I've been talking about Keegan Murray for a little bit, and I'm going to double down now. He's showed it to me in summer league, and he's reminding me in preseason. This kid is NBA ready by definition. I mean, you don't put the numbers he put up in college and not perform well in the NBA. You just don't. Like, he is a natural hooper. He's so good. He can do everything. I'm not saying this team can make the playoffs, but like if De'Aaron Fox gets better and Sabonis keeps being that all-star level player he is, while Keegan Murray ends up being like an all-star player, they could be a good team. They're looking a little bit better, to be honest with you. I mean, Sabonis is 26, Fox is 24, and Keegan's 22. Who knows, man? Maybe the Kings could be good in like 3 years. Who knows? With the Knicks, I gotta be honest with you. Even though I'm gonna say, first of all, the mid three that we all like to joke about of RJ Barrett, Brunson, and Randall look better. I'm going to say that now. But more importantly, Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin looked very good. Obi Toppin looks clearly better than last year. Emmanuel Quickley is at least playing aggressive, and he's been getting better every season anyways. I'm curious to see. Obi Toppin especially goes from 4 points to 9 points. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to like 13 to 14 this year. He looks a lot better. Those are two players, this bench, they're looking good. They're actually looking very, very good. For the Lakers, maybe one of the most important players on their team right now is Kendrick Nunn. He is having an amazing preseason, and this is very important. This is very important because Kendrick Nunn is a shooter. He is shooting very well this preseason. That's going to be everything for this team because when you have a team of LeBron and Anthony Davis, and then Russell Westbrook and Brian and Beverly and Lonnie, it's a big question mark for this team. I'm going to be honest with you, would not be shocked if Nunn ends up as a starter on this team next to Westbrook. Like, it's going to be Westbrook, Nunn, LeBron, and then they're saying that AD might play center, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see there. Maybe you could play like Toscano at power forward, but still, the team is going to be a lot better if Kendrick Nunn keeps shooting like that. It's very essential for him to keep playing like that. He's kind of a forgotten player. He's good. For the Mavericks, Christian Wood. Now, we all knew Christian Wood was an amazing pickup for the Mavericks. That was like an obvious thing. We all knew that was a good idea. But I was a little worried because they lost Brunson. And I was like, man, Mavericks, like, you're trying to have 3 good players, not just 2. And Spencer Dinwiddie, we know, is not as good as he used to be, right? So I was a little worried for the Mavericks. But let's not act like Christian Wood has not been fantastic. Last season, 2 years ago, 21 points per game. The season after that, 17. Like, Christian Wood is valid, right? We all agree. So I was a little, not worried, because I knew that he was going to be good, but I was a little worried when they started saying that he might be on the bench. I was like, whoa, Mavericks, what are you talking about? Christian Wood's going to be on the bench. And in preseason, he started on the bench, but I think he shut up the Mavericks because he is outperforming in the preseason. He's going to start for this team. He's good. He's taller than I remember. It says he's 6'9". He looked like he was 6'11" when I was watching him play the other night. Dude is so good. He's such a bucket getter. I think that I don't know if this team can win a championship, but Christian Wood is the right pickup to get into that direction. And I'm happy for him. And I think the Mavericks got a really good player here. All right, for the Denver Nuggets, it's actually going to be Bones Highland. So he averaged 10 points per game last season as a rookie, and he had an amazing preseason last year. He's having an amazing preseason this year. I think he's also in the conversation for most improved. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins most improved. He's so good. And I was talking about this for a while. I played 2K with him last year, and we were talking, and I was like, this kid wants to be good. Like, I can just hear it. I think he's going to be good. I'm expecting most improved player of the year this year by him. That's my personal, pick for most improved. He's going to be good for sure. He can score so easily. The Pacers. So their rookie, Benedict Mathurin, I think is going to have a nice year and is going to be an underrated rookie this year. He's had a nice preseason and he's going to get a lot of minutes this year because the Pacers are going to be really bad. And I think that's a good thing because I think he's going to show out. So I'm an obvious person here. For the Pistons, just quickly, Jaden Ivey. Here's the thing. He was the first point guard drafted this year. Like, the best point guard in the draft is always a good pick. They needed a point guard, so it was an obvious pickup, even though they're saying he's a shooting guard, but I don't know what the Pistons' plan is here. I'm pretty sure he's a point guard. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're playing him as point guard. So when you have him as point guard with Kate Cunningham as shooting guard, they're going to be fun to watch this year. He's athletic. He can score. Nothing more you could want from a point guard in this NBA. He's playing well in the preseason. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps doing it for the rest of the year. The Rockets, everyone in the preseason is getting buckets. Jalen Green's playing very well. Jabari Smith is playing very, very well in the preseason. Kevin Porter Jr. always plays well in the preseason, but I always forget he's only 22. These three right here could have a nice little year. I actually kind of hope the Rockets are patient here and let these three grow together. And this could be a good team in a couple years, to be honest with you. This is a good starting three best players. And also, a little underrated player right here is Tari Eason. Now, I'll be real with you, I never heard of him. But he's having himself a very nice preseason. And he's only 21. Underrated pick for the Rockets. Let's hope he has a good regular season as well. Finally, this shouldn't really be a surprise for the Warriors. Of course, James Wiseman is playing well. This is going to be his first real season. He averaged 11 points last year, but he played, 39 games apparently? Look, James Wiseman was one of the top picks a couple years ago. Expect him to be good because he's going to be. He's going to be. And now that you have a little issues with Mr. Draymond Green here, I wouldn't be surprised if Wiseman gets a lot more minutes. That's going to be exciting. I think Wiseman's going to be... the Warriors somehow are getting all this young talent while still being championship contenders at the same time. It's kind of like how the Celtics were back with Larry Bird. It's like the same situation. They're like the new Celtics, I swear. But, okay, guys. Those are my picks for the preseason players that are performing well. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this channel, please give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time.